F980908, Overcomers in this Age. For there was nothing in the nature of Christ that needed purging through suffering in the flesh. He did not choose to remain at the scourging post for that purpose. Satan had nothing in him, says the Spirit of grace. He remained at the scourging post because it was the will of his Father that his body be broken, for the healing of the divisions and strife of men. In substitution he bore their brokenness in his own body at the scourging post, that through the blood shed there all men could be healed and made one again by the Spirit of the living God, as the very life of God is recreated in them. I say again, it was not to be purged that he remained at the scourging post. No, it was his nature and his character in full manifestation, to the degree that he remained to suffer in the flesh because it was the will of the Father. It was a portion of the Father's plan for his life. His nature and his character were such that suffering in the flesh could not deter him from obeying the will of the Father. That life, that nature, that character in him caused him to be obedient, even unto death, even unto the death of the cross. Know and understand that the purpose of you embracing the scourging post is twofold. Of secondary importance is the purging of all those things which you would call, quote, sins of the flesh. Of primary importance is the development of the nature and character of Christ within you, that his life come forward to full harvest, that you be willing to suffer in the flesh if needs be, that the will of the Father be accomplished in the earth. By reason of use, by practice, by experience, the nature and character of Christ is brought forward in stages, to become progressively more powerful, to overcome all that is not of the will of the Father in your life. Hear the wisdom of God. Quote, Proverbs 20, verse 30. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil. So do stripes the inward parts of the belly. End quote. In Solomon's day, the blueness of wounds and the stripes for penalty were intended to teach, through the flesh, that the way of the transgressor is hard. Penalty suffered in the flesh restrained their flesh, that they learned not to transgress from the word of commandment. In your age, the intention and purpose of the Father is to bring forth the nature and the character of Christ, which has been sown as a seed in your heart, unto full harvest. His life is to come to overcoming stature within you, to put down all rebellion which remains in the body received from Adam. Remember that I enforce positional truth, says the Spirit of grace. The Father has given you the positional truth of the death of the body of Adam. He has given you the positional truth of the life of Christ within you. As you draw upon that life to overcome the flesh, understand you are not alone. I have come to bring forth his life in you, that you be transformed from glory to glory into that same image, that you have the same heart, the same mind, and the same will of him who preceded you, to obey the Father regardless of suffering in the flesh. I have come to help you by bringing forth that nature within you. All things are possible to that life. It is his life within you that I baptize with dominion, to put down all rebellion received from him who transgressed. Those who serve other gods, and those who serve themselves, only strengthen the fallen nature within them through discipline of the body. Through strong discipline, by the will and energy of fallen man, they strengthen the rebellion of fallen man. Many such have become mighty tyrants upon the earth, and have inflicted much harm, much suffering, and much death upon man. Of such was Saul of Tarsus, before he met the Lord, whose strong will and harsh discipline of the body brought forth the nature of him who destroys. He persecuted the church of God and destroyed it. It is not so among those who have received the life of Christ within them. As they draw upon that life and turn to me to bring forward that life within them, I enforce the life of the righteous one within their spirit, and cause it to come forward to full harvest, that they become overcomers in this age. This is the primary purpose, son, that the instruction has come from the mind of Christ for you to embrace the scourging post. It is the nature of Christ and the character of Christ that I am bringing forward in you, that your heart be knit together with Him, that your will and your mind become one with the living Christ. That will is, Father, not my will, but thine be done. Father, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth, even as it is in heaven. The nature of Christ within you desires the Father's will be done upon the earth, even if it means suffering in the flesh, even if it means obedience to the death of the cross. That is the nature, that is the character that I am bringing forward in you. Think you that the Son felt not the pain of every stripe? Think you that the ache of agony coursed not through His body with every lash? Think you that He suffered not the pain of penalty for every man's transgression, as His flesh was ripped open by the stripes of judgment? His nature and His character kept Him at the scourging post until the will of the Father had been fully accomplished, though it meant great suffering for Him in the flesh. With the agony of every stripe His heart cried out, Father, thy will be done. Again, that is the nature and the character I am bringing forward in you. Progressive fasting is acting upon the positional truth given you by the Father. I enforce positional truth, says the Spirit of grace. It is true that I can, and often do, deliver without suffering instantly many people from all that you would call addiction. It is a small thing for me to cleanse the blood, the organs, and the emotions of all that man would call addiction. And you should know that I will do this for you if you continue to petition the Father in this manner. But understand that the manifestation for you by that method would be according to His permissive will, and not according to His perfect will. For His plans for you, my son, are to send you into hard places, to rescue His sheep where suffering in the flesh shall be required, to choose the method of instant deliverance where no transformation is required, is to choose the path where no transformation is accomplished. On that path there is no transformation to the nature and character of Christ. Again I say, His nature and His character desires the will of the Father be accomplished, even if it means suffering in the flesh, even if it means obedience unto death. To walk in the Father's perfect will in the days to come for you, my son, that nature and that character must come to full harvest, that you be more desirous of the Father's will than any suffering in the flesh you must endure. That is His perfect will, my son, for your life. His mercy and His compassion will grant you deliverance without suffering if you choose that path. But that path would always keep you below His perfect will for your life. Your heart would continue to hunger and thirst on that path, for your heart cry is to know Him. Your heart cry is to walk as Him. Your heart cry is, Father, thy will be done through my life. Allow me to bring forth the nature and character of the Son in you, who learned obedience through the things He suffered, who learned obedience unto death, even the death of the cross. I will help you in this, says the Spirit of grace, progressively by stages, as you embrace the scourging post, according to the mind of Christ which I have brought unto you. An overcomer must love not his life unto death. To embrace the scourging post is to embrace the pain of the scourging post. To embrace the scourging post is to lay down your life, that you may receive the nature and character of His life and harvest. Matthew 10:39. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. Revelations 12, verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.